Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing the much anticipated house tour, finally, even though we're moving next week. I always seem to do these house tours right before we move. It just feels a little bit invasive to show every square inch of our house while we're still living there, but I feel like it's totally fine to show it once we're already moved out. So that's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna show you around my house that we've been living in for the last 6 months. If you are brand new here and you're just clicking on one of my videos for the first time, hello, my name is Andrea. Wonder why I don't have a French accent? I am Canadian. I am from Vancouver, BC. I'm a registered nurse. We are living in France right now because my husband is attending an MBA school called INSEAD in a tiny town just outside of just outside of Paris called Fontainebleau. It's very, very tiny. It basically has one main street that runs all the way down it. So we've been living in this tiny apartment. It's not that tiny. It's actually bigger than some of our other places we've lived in for the last 6 months, since January. We are currently getting ready to head on out. So I thought I would share where we've been living. I did want to make a note that this apartment is basically Airbnb style, long-term rental. It's rented as is. I didn't do any of the decorating. So if you watch my Vancouver house tour, which is the last one I did, that was completely empty when we moved in. I did all the decorating myself and I really loved the way it turned out. So if you want to kind of see my home decor style, then that's probably a better video to watch. But yeah, this house, we just moved in with our few suitcases of clothing and that's all we had with us. So none of the decor is mine, other than I added like the white bedspread and a couple of little greenery bits around the house. Everything else was already there. So it doesn't really show my style, but it is very cute. It's very French, and we have loved living here. So let's start out on the street on this side. So we're gonna start on the opposite side of the street. This is our building back here. This is our lovely little street. It's a beautiful day today, super humid. And when I turn the camera around, we'll be looking at our little home. So this is our house. It is 145 Rue Sainte-Marie in Fontainebleau, France. Really pretty blue little gate. Lots of greenery above. And let's go in. So when you first walk through the big blue gate, we have this entryway here. Outside courtyard. We've never had any outdoor space in any place we've lived in except for a little 1-foot Juliet balcony. So when we first got to this place, we were like, wow, my God, we have outdoor space, but there's even more in the back, so it gets better. Basically, it's just used for garbage and recycling, but it is really cute back here. This once was one house, and the owner decided to split it into 2 apartments. So we have this lower level, this second half, and then this is another Airbnb above us here. He basically just added a few extra doors and called it 2 apartments. So that's what that is, why it's all split up. Yeah, if we had a power washer available to us, I would have been attacking that, but anyways, in through the front door. We have this really pretty tile in the front entryway here. Turn the light on. This is our front entry hall. Welcome to our home. Down this way is the stairs that lead up to the extra B&B that is up there. Funny story, if you've been watching our vlogs recently, or since we got here, you would know that we didn't have heating for a lot of the time that we were here during like winter season when it was -10. This thing would not work when we were freezing in -10 weather. Now it's blasting, now that it's 30 degrees out and ridiculously humid. I can feel the heat coming off of it now and we can't turn it off. So this is our front door here. One thing to save you from being humiliated if you ever live in France or are visiting, you have to turn the door handle all the way up to lock and unlock these doors. It's quite strange. We humiliated ourselves when we first got here because we called them and saying, our lock is broken, we can't lock our house, what do we do? And they came over and they were like, there you go. So if you ever find that problem, try lifting the door handle. Okay, in we go. So when you open up the front door, you're greeted by a bunch more light that leads straight into our backyard and this crazy staircase in front of me. So front door, feet. Off to the left, we have this little stand here. Again, not picked out by me, not something I would choose. It was already here, it's already full of stuff, so we don't use it at all. We just use this lamp in the corner here and these funny little palm tree candlesticks. Then we have our stairs that go up to the second level. And then we have this little IKEA fold-out dining room table here. Again, IKEA chairs, I believe, as well. All these little trinkets, except for the little greenery piece here, were already here when we got here. So I don't believe this radio even works either. This is the back door that goes into the backyard, the back courtyard. Luckily, we are on the lower floor, so we have full access to the backyard, and the people upstairs do not. The only downside is that they also have windows on the backside, so whenever we're in our backyard, we kind of feel like whoever's up there can be watching and listening to us, but what can you do? So we have these huge French windows. I'm sure the camera is not going to do it any sort of justice, but they are... The ceilings in here have got to be 12 feet maybe. It's really, really high. And the windows go all the way up pretty much to the top. We've got this really cool industrial looking single light. Our TV stand, we don't have cable, but luckily it did come with a TV, so we actually connect our computer and watch YouTube, Netflix, all that great stuff through Ken's old MacBook. Just connect it with an HDMI cord, and that suited us just fine. This lamp I actually added in the corner when we first moved here. Oh, there's Wilson. He's making a mess in the backyard today. I got this lamp from IKEA when we first got here because it was so dark. When we first moved here, January, February were very wet, dark months. Even into March, it was still pretty dark. And this corner doesn't have any lights. So I decided to add this little light to the corner, and it helps Ken dig through his closet on this side here. No idea where this coffee table's from. It's very blah, but it does the trick. I just have my agenda and the remote there. And then on this side, we have our tiny IKEA couch. Should have straightened it out a little bit more probably. Very standard couch. It does pull out to make what they call a hide-a-bed. It isn't really, because it's like 3 feet too short to be a proper bed, but we did have someone come and stay on it, and she didn't mind it, so there you go. And then on this side, we have fireplace number 1. This is one of my favorite parts about living in this space, is that it feels very French. It's very cute. It's modern, but not, they didn't really change much in here, so it's beautiful. The backbone of it is beautiful. It's just the decoration's not really to my taste. But anyways, fireplace, really pretty mirror, extra light into the lower portion of the house because it looks like we're getting a ton of light in, and today is not too bad, but because we have huge bamboo going up either side of the backyard, it actually blocks a lot of the light to the downstairs. So the light was necessary, the mirror is necessary, and then we have this huge wall of all storage. And just to embarrass Ken, I will show you what he's done to them. First, while we were living here, I did try to keep this organized for him, but he quickly destroys it, and he seems to be able to function out of this. I could not, but you know, each to their own. Opposites attract. And the same goes for this side. This is more miscellaneous stuff, computer stuff, school stuff, and shoes. And next to the fireplace, we have two of my best friend and one of Ken's best friends as well. They're save the date here up on our mantle. Nothing else personal except for this. On this side, we have this strange little chair. It's obviously very old, but it was at one time, I think, a toilet. So we just keep it in this corner here. We can't really get rid of it because it's not ours, but we just use it to kind of store a few jackets because we don't really have an entranceway, and we don't have a lot of hanging storage either, so we just use it like a coat rack. I didn't even notice that before. What is that? Looks like a horse bit or something. They did keep all the old-fashioned beams in here, which I really love. They even kept like all the coloring to the beams. It's obviously been refinished and everything, but I love that they didn't just go all white with it. A lot of the restaurants and stuff, you'll see this in Fontainebleau or throughout France, and they paint over it. And I think it looks so cool when you just leave it the way it once was. Beyond the weird chair, we have our kitchen here, which is actually quite large considering the size of the apartment. I think the apartment's probably only 650 square feet, maybe 675, something like that. But the kitchen is huge. Here it is, all black countertops, even though the water is ridiculously hard. I've mentioned this so many times in other videos, but the water here is really, really hard, and it leaves white spots everywhere. So black countertops was not the best option because it just makes it look filthy all the time, but we have managed just fine. On this side, I have a little hook for my grocery bag. chalkboard that we've never used. This is usually where we line up all our bottles of wine. Our tiny little mini microwave that we actually thought we would use a lot more than we do. Our little half-size fridge, which is not that large, has all the standard stuff in it right now. I'm trying to be healthy, so it's mostly yogurt, apples. Oh God, don't want to see that. Chocolate. And no fridge, like I've mentioned. And you might also notice that there is no oven here. All we have is a stovetop here, espresso, kettle, and the microwave. So it's pretty basic. We've got a pretty modern sink though, which is strange. No dishwasher, but we've never had a dishwasher. That never really bothered us. And a fair amount of storage down below actually, but would have been nice to have an oven. And then up here is a lot of our pantry stuff because down here is a lot of like dishes and cookware. So yes, and that looks out to the front courtyard that we started in with our recycling and stuff. So that's where I watch Ken come in from school. And then when we look this way, we are looking back into the living room. It's actually quite cute. I'm gonna miss this place. Our next place is definitely doesn't have nearly as much character. So we're gonna head out into the backyard, which is through this door here. I'm probably gonna catch Wilson making a mess in all the leaves. Oh, there he goes. He was trying to dig. I was actually sharing that story on Instagram just a few minutes before I started this video because I was cleaning up the backyard, trying to get rid of all the leaves and make it a little more tidy. And Wilson just keeps going into the backyard and tossing everything around. So he's been digging in the bamboo and throwing everything around. I made a nice tidy little pile in the back corner here and he just kicked it all out. So it's not quite as tidy as it was an hour ago, but that's all right. He's probably trying to make a little nest somewhere. Oh, there he is again. Anyways, backyard. It's actually a pretty good sized backyard. Again, desperately want a power washer to get rid of all this. I love power washing. I did look on Amazon if I could get one really cheap, but no such luck. So green floor it is. To this side we have the classic French shutters on both floors. So this is up to the bedroom and then that looks into the living room here. We have a cute little dining, well yeah, it's a little dining table for two. We often sit out here and have dinner or we have coffee. Ken will go out and get croissants in the morning and we will sit here and have coffee on nice days. I love all this stone that they have in the corner here. Oh, it's just so beautiful. And then just tons of greenery that goes all the way up to the third floor. Somewhere in there is Wilson's house. One of my favorite parts that I love looking at is this shutter here that's right next to my wardrobe is actually, it started out back here when we moved here and then it slowly crept over into the window and the shutters here. I just love that. I can't wait to have that in a house. One day when we have a house. Yeah, just lots of greenery over on this side. And then they have this extension here that, oh, he's trying to be part of the video. They haven't really done anything with it. It's actually a 2-level extension, but it's basically just an empty room that they've done nothing with. The only thing that is in here is our luggage, one random sock that we never found the pair to, an extra entertainment table if we wanted to attach that out here, then we could have a lot more people, some extra bedding, our ironing board, and our washing machine. And that is it. And then you can actually go upstairs here. I haven't been up here since we moved in. And it's just a big open area with skylights in it. So it's actually a really cool space. They could do a lot with it. Oh God, don't fall. That would be good video content. So they actually could do a lot with this space, I think, and they could rent this place for a lot more if they did something with it. But they haven't, so. If it was my place, I would certainly do something with it. Look at this mess he's made. That was all tucked away in the back corner here. And he's tossed it all the way out to here. On this side of the backyard, we have Wilson's bath. He loves chilling here, drinking up the water, splashing around, and tons of bamboo. And for anybody wondering, yes, bamboo is a nightmare. I did hear that when we moved here. Someone told me that it is a nightmare, and my God. It sheds like crazy and makes such a mess. We sweep here, or I sweep here, probably every other day now. I can't keep up with it, especially with Wilson over here digging everything up. Okay, going back inside, this away. See ya, Wilson. So we're gonna head up the crazy stairs. up into the bedroom. So I'm sure the camera is not going to show just how tiny these are, but they're tiny. Definitely only 1 person wide. I have tiny little feet, and that's, yeah, just to give you some perspective. And it's also not really that sturdy. The whole thing kind of shakes as you go up. So it's a little bit sketchy, but everyone that's come to visit us has tried it and not fallen. I'm actually the only one that has fallen down these stairs in 6 months, and that fall was like 2 weeks ago now, so I almost made it the whole way through without falling. Yeah, I ended up with all sorts of bruising and a bruised rib, but still got my 2 front teeth, so it's all good. So immediately when you get to the top of the stairs, you have our bathroom over to the right here. It's a bit of a strange bathroom. It has this weird tornado-looking hurricane sink, and this is pretty much the only storage that was here other than this little guy. This is all we have here. Just a couple little shelves and laundry on the bottom. So I keep all my makeup in here. This is both of our bathroom stuff, and then again, shared bathroom stuff, my shower cap. Yeah, again, I don't know why they chose all black fixtures in here. The tile's all black, the floor's all black. The sink is even black. I scrub in here till my arms feel like they're gonna fall off, and it still looks filthy. So it drives me nuts, but I am thankful for a nice modern washroom, at least. The door is another thing that's a bit strange. It just kind of hovers around the outline of the actual bathroom. Literally, there are like gaps. The door doesn't really close all the way. There's a huge gap at the top that we actually stuff a towel into up here just to kind of make it a little more private. But you can see right in there pretty much. There's also a huge gap at the bottom. So not ideal, but it worked for our 6-month stay. So from the bathroom, I'll just give you a full pan over of the upstairs. All the people that have come to visit us so far have said that it actually feels larger up here than they thought from all my Instagram stories and everything. And it is, it feels pretty spacious, like a whole nother living space up here with a bed. So on this side, I just have our hanging rack. Luckily, this was already here because the only hanging storage we have is this wardrobe here, which is mostly consumed by me. Pretty much all dresses and a couple of winter coats. Another strange thing about being here is that it's not quite wide enough for regular size hangers, so everything kind of has to sit on an angle and get pushed in there in order for it to stay. But yeah. But I have absolutely loved using this rack. I love having it all color coordinated and putting new stuff here. It looks a little messy with the bags on the end there, but yeah. And back through this way, this door actually leads out to the common hallway where it goes up to the Airbnb, and then this is our cleaning room supply holding. So yeah. So as I already showed you, this is all hanging wardrobe. This is just extra storage where we keep extra bathroom stuff, and the top is all like sunglasses, nightwear, socks, and underwear. And then on this side we have our second fireplace. They are non-functioning, at least we were told not to use them while we were here, which is fine. But well, we definitely could have used them for the first few months we were here, but anyways, we're done with all that drama. I absolutely love this huge wall of black though. I'm always like a white person, especially when it comes to like the backbone of a place. I want it to be all white, and then I'll add in color where I want it. But I think this is so dramatic how they just painted it all out black and then left the one piece of white here. It looks so cool. Definitely the feature of the whole room. And then they have these cool little, I don't even know what these are, but funky little things down at the bottom. And then they also have skeletons up here, which I actually really like. We never really added any kind of decor to the top. This bag was just kind of an awkward thing to store anywhere, and I didn't want to take up space in the actual cupboards for it, so I just left it up here, and that's kind of my decor. This was here, lamp was here, all standard stuff up top. The table was even here. I added a little greenery. I keep my filming camera in the corner here because there's nowhere else really to store it. And then this is also all wardrobe. This is all faux, doesn't open. So over here I keep most of my folded stuff. This is mostly long sleeve, short sleeve, skirts and shorts, pants, and then a few random things that I don't really reach for that often. And then down here, Camera in the way. Sweaters, comfy sweaters, culottes, leather pants, workout gear, extra towels. On this side we have back to the big windows, little chair that Ken loves to pile all of his stuff onto, a full-length mirror that I did add in here because I wasn't sure how busy Ken was going to be, and if he can't help me film videos or help me with blog photos, then I was going to have to rely on this little guy, and it's been perfect. We both have loved having it. Over on this side I have the window, and it is open. It's wonderful. I can hear all the birds chirping when we wake up, looking out over our little backyard. And then over on this side we have the bed. Again, it was all here. The only thing I changed was they had a black duvet cover on it. I changed it to white, and I added these 2 green pillows, but the little side nook house-shaped things were already here. I also added the lamp because, again, there's no ceiling lights in this place, and at night it gets quite dark over in the corner, so I added that in. I think that's pretty much all there is to show around here. So it's not that big, but it has suited us very well for the last 6 months, other than not having heating or hot water some of the time, and intermittent internet, all the other problems that I've discussed many other times. The place has been awesome. We have loved living here, and it's right in the center of Fontainebleau, so it's been perfect. So there we go. That is where we've been living for the last 6 months. We've thoroughly enjoyed it. We're very sad to be leaving, but the next move is also very exciting. Again, it is not a long-term move. It's a very short-term. But we're excited for the next adventure. We gotta sort out all our stuff and figure out how we're gonna get 6 months of new shopping into the same amount of luggage that we came here with. I don't know if that's possible. I might have to get rid of a lot of stuff. If you wanna follow us along on the next adventure, moving and everything, I'm sure I'm gonna be on Instagram story a ton while we're doing that. So make sure you follow me over there. So my Instagram handle is just ANDREACLARE, with the first A has 2 A's in it. I also post pretty frequently to my blog, which is just andreaclare.ca. If you want to follow me over there, that would be lovely. I would love to have you over there. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like our little home that we had here in Fontainebleau, France. We are very lucky to experience this. We had such an amazing time in France. We'll definitely be coming back to Fontainebleau sometime soon, I hope. It's probably a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I can't imagine that Ken would get a job that would require us to be in France at some point, but it was amazing to experience. But on to new adventures. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Missing someone.